Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm joined by my good friend here, Hashim. He's a student pilot. We're in the same Bachelor of Aviation degree program at Seneca College. We're studying to become airline transport pilots. I believe Hashim wants to join the military though, so we'll see where that leads him.
Yeah, let's hope so one day, hopefully.
So basically today's flight is from Vienna, Austria to Reykjavik, Iceland. We have a total flight time of 4 hours. Obviously, we're not going to be sitting throughout the entire 4 hours. We'll be using our teleportation system, so we'll stick around for the departure, and then we'll skip the cruise and then start the descent.
Perfect.
So it won't take us 4 hours at least, and yeah, that's about it. So I have my fuel here. We do not have the flight plan programmed yet, so we're going to initialize the computer systems first before we do anything else. The APU is running. And once we finish initializing our navigation computers, then we'll go through the checklists and I'll show you how to do them and this and that. And then I'll give you a bit of instruction on how to fly the plane during takeoff, and then we'll get going.
Perfect. What about the weather?
Yeah, it is stormy weather today, so it is going to be gusty weather. We don't know exactly what the weather is yet.
Any crosswind or?
There probably will be one, yeah. But our flight plan is programmed so that we fly into the wind, as usual.
Perfect.
But we don't have the ATIS information yet, so we'll get that and we'll get that going. First things first, so I'm going to get you familiarized with the flight management computer. This is our flight management computer, also known as the FMC.
Okay.
What the FMC does is it allows us to program a flight plan into the computer and allows the plane to follow that flight plan. So we're going to start off by programming our departure, which is the LANU 6D departure with the LANX transition. And we're departing on runway, stand by, runway, let's see, what's the runway? Runway 34. So we'll go ahead and start that. So we're going to do initialization reference. We'll make sure our GPS position is accurate. We're good. So we'll start entering our route. So our first, our departure is low, which is Vienna. And our arrival is Berk, which is Reykjavik. And our flight number is Austrian 251. Okay, so now we've got our flight plan. We'll go ahead and load up our fuel and passengers. So we'll go to menu, sim options, sim, load payload, and our payload for today is a zero fuel weight of 187,958 kilograms. 187,958. So 187.958. Perfect. And our fuel load for today is going to be 30.47. And that's our total fuel. So we have no fuel in the center tanks, and we'll have fuel in the wing tanks, left and right tanks only. Okay, so that's our flight plan, payload, and fuel. Now we're going to program our performance so that we can have a good optimized takeoff, and we know what our speed is that we need to pull back. So we'll go ahead and go back into route performance initialization. We'll load our zero fuel weight from our program, and our reserve is going to be 2. Cruising altitude for today's flight is depart date flight level 380, so we're flying at 38,000 feet. Our cost index is 149. And there's our center of gravity. Thrust limit, it's outside, air temperature is 12 degrees. We are in Austria. It is September. So I'm actually going to say it's 8 degrees outside. And that should limit our takeoff thrust. We're doing a flaps 5 takeoff. And our center of gravity is 20.3%, which gives us a trim level of 5.75. So we'll make sure that 5.75 is set on the trim.
And where do you see that?
Right here. Stabilizer trim.
Okay, I see, yeah.
So we have 5.73, that's good enough. Our V1 speed is 131, rotate speed is 138, V2 speed is 148, thrust limit is set, and we'll keep this page on the legs page, and we're ready to start off with our checklists. So now our flight plan's been programmed. I'm just going to set
Perfect.
my computer aside here. We're going to do our checklist now. So basically the way this works is that the pilot flying, the pilot monitoring will challenge the pilot flying with these different questions. So first question is engine NTIs, and then, or sorry, that's the after start checklist. This is the pre-flight checklist. So I will call for the pre-flight checklist, and then you will begin by reading inspection, and then I'll reply completed or not completed. Then you will say oxygen, and I will say checked, set, 100%. You will say FMC, and I will say loaded. So you get the idea. You challenge me with these ones, and I respond with these ones here.
Perfect.
All right. So let's go ahead and start. So I'm going to start off by saying pre-flight checklist.
Okay, so the pre-flight checklist. We're doing this inspection,
Completed.
oxygen.
So we're going to check our oxygen. There's on the left side there's a panel with a red button. See this one?
Yeah.
So press and hold it to see, make sure your oxygen mask is working.
Yeah, I hear that.
You got to do it yourself too. Because mine's working, but we don't know if yours is. So it's working.
Completely.
We're good. So checked, set, 100%.
Perfect. FMC.
Loaded.
And where is that?
I just did it. I just programmed the flight plan. Go ahead.
Okay. Extreme no power.
What's that? External power?
Yeah.
It's disconnected.
Disconnected. Oh, don't look at my
I'm
face.
not. I'm looking up there at the panel.
Okay, where is it?
Right here. See, if it was green saying available, it means that they're still
You
connected.
know what you're doing. You're a good man. Cabin windows.
Cabin windows are closed and locked.
Okay, seatbelt.
Seatbelt signs, we'll turn them on. So see that switch right there?
Okay.
Turn that to auto.
And this one for the passengers.
Yes.
Perfect. I like that. Hydraulic pumps.
Hydraulic electric pumps are off. They should be on? What does it say there? Yeah, I guess it's restart
Should
checklist.
be
So we'll do
on-
auto.
on and auto.
Yep. Okay, hydraulic pumps on and auto.
Okay, perfect. So this is hydraulic. I see right now. I understand. It's fuel. Okay, next one. Okay, we're talking about the fuel quantity on
Fuel
board.
quantities checked. We have 30.7 kilograms.
And for the day, how much we need for the day?
We'll need about 29,000, 28,000. We have
So the
2,000 in
destination
reserves.
and 35.
So we have 30,700 total, and to get to our destination, we'll need about 28,000 kilograms. So we'll have about
We have
2,000
enough.
kilograms in reserve.
Good. Fuel pumps.
Fuel pumps are coming on, so left and right fuel pumps. No center fuel pumps because there's no fuel in the center tank, and we'll just double check that here on our fuel. There we go, fuel. So we got 0.1 on the center, so that's 0, it's empty.
0.1.
Right here.
Beacon.
Beacon light is on, and we'll do our nav, logo, and wing lights on as well.
MCP.
MCP is not set, so that's good that you brought that up. So our MCP, so we're going to set up our speed here to V2, which is 148. That says 148 or 146. What does it say there?
Here it says
148. Okay. And we'll turn on both our flight directors. We'll arm all the throttles, and we'll set our altitude up to 1500, as that's our restriction. We'll do LNAV and VNAV, and so that's enabled now. So our plane will be able to fly itself or give us instructions on how to fly after takeoff.
So the autopilot, that means it's active.
Yes.
Perfect. And CDU.
CDU's program.
Okay, and trim.
Trim is set. 5.75.
And doors.
Doors are not automatic, so we'll go ahead and get those doors to automatic.
Doors to automatic and cross-check.
Okay. And we'll check our doors panel right here. This is, where is that? I think it's at no, door. Here we go. Doors automatic. All good.
Good. Now,
Before start checklist.
before.
Oh, we just did the before start checklist?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the after start checklist. So now we're going to do a pushback and start our engines. So, by the looks of it, if we push straight out back, we'll be okay.
Do we have any planes behind us? Is it enough?
No, we don't have any planes behind us, so we're just gonna do a straight out pushback. So we'll go ahead and get the pushback loaded.
The track set? Okay.
What's that?
I see the guy, he's gonna push it right now.
Yeah, we gotta talk to him though.
Actually, can I talk to him?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is insane.
Ground, this is the cockpit.
Ground, go ahead.
Requesting pushback.
Set parking brake.
Parking brake is set. So he's going to come and connect the
Okay.
tug.
Steering pin inserted. Go ahead and release the brakes.
We'll release brakes. Don't release the brakes just
Please
yet.
release the brakes. Please release the brakes.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Please release the brakes.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Please release the brakes.
Yeah.
We got it.
We got it.
Please release the brakes.
Just give us a minute.
Just give us a second.
Give us a minute that we'll be able to do
Please
it.
release the brakes.
We got you.
Please release the brakes.
And what are you doing there?
Just adjusting the volume of everything here.
Please release the brakes. Please release the brakes. Please release the brakes. Pushing back.
Okay, so we are pushing back now, and we're going to go ahead and proceed with our engine start. So basically on the 777, the 777 has an automatic engine starting sequence. We can basically just turn our switches on and turn our fuel pumps on, and the plane will automatically introduce fuel and such. On the 737, you have to do it manually, and you have to watch the oil pressure climb, and then once the oil pressure is at a certain amount, then you can flip the fuel control switch to bring fuel. But because we can do that with the 777, we're going to go ahead and utilize that, because that's why we fly the 777. It's an easier plane to fly. So we're going to go ahead and do an engine start here. So the engine start buttons. Wow, do I not remember where they are? Where the heck are they?
All engines clear for startup.
Yes, here we go. So we're going to start off with engine, right engine.
Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Okay, the towing system is removed. Please wait for my hand signal on your left-hand side. See you later, guys.
We'll watch for a hand signal on the left-hand side, thank you. So we're going to watch our oil pressure here. We got 31 psi, exhaust gas temperature is 250. Our N1 speed is 16, so that's about to click off. We're going to watch the switch here. Watch, it just went back to normal. So engine number 2 is started. We'll start up engine number 1 now, and we'll go ahead and introduce fuel.
Were you looking here or here?
Both.
Okay. So the engines that are on, right?
They're starting up still. Engine number 1, good start. Switches back to normal position. Fuel control switches are on. Okay, so now we'll go through the memory items here before we start our taxi. So taxi lights will going on. Our auto brakes will be set to RTO. And we'll set flaps to 5. Landing gear is down in green. Flaps are in transit. TCAS is still off, so we'll go ahead and set to auto. TCAS is on auto, and we're gonna do it.
TCAS test passed.
TCAS sets TAR8. We got TCAS test passed. Good. Okay. The after start checklist, please.
Engine anti-ice.
Engine anti-ice, and wing anti-ice auto.
Recall.
Recall checked. No warnings.
Auto brakes.
RTO.
Flaps.
5 in green.
Final load sheet.
Loaded.
Flight deck door.
Is still open. Now it's closed and locked.
Perfect. Taxiing.
Okay, so now we'll start off with taxiing here. And we'll make sure our terrain override is not on. And we'll also make sure our flap override is off. Gear override is off. GS inhibit is off. And okay. Heading reference normal. MFD, nav, FFC auto. Okay. So, what was it that I was going to do now? Taxi lights are on. Yeah, we're good to go. We're going to start moving the plane. So basically, I'm going to start off by taxiing us a little bit, and then I'll let you do the rest of the taxi.
Perfect.
So I'll get you like a little bit familiar with how this taxiing works here. Basically, what I'm going to do is release the parking brake. I'm going to advance the throttles a little bit, just a little bit, and this is the tiller. So basically, the tiller, it goes 180 degrees in either direction. It'll allow us to turn the plane. So right now I'm turning it right because I want to turn the plane right.
Approaching 3, 4.
And if you don't mind just lining us up on the runway.
For sure, I got this.
Yeah, you're going to want to give it just a little bit more thrust.
Here we go.
Yeah, you're gonna want to keep it like really. You want the center line to be
Center line,
right
yeah.
on the nose.
On runway 3, 4.
Idle throttle. And brakes. And parking brake. There you go. Okay, so before takeoff checklist, please.
Flaps.
5 in green.
Transponders.
TCAS, TARA, and auto.
Flight controls.
Okay, that's a good one. We gotta check the flight controls. So see here, we're gonna do full up,
Just like that.
neutral, full down, neutral, full left, neutral, full right, neutral, and full rudder left, neutral, full rudder right, neutral.
Perfect.
Flight controls free and correct.
Trim.
Trim set 5.73.
Alert the crew.
Cabin crew, take your seats for takeoff.
Cabin crew's been alerted.
Good. Aligned with the runway.
Yep, we are aligned.
Okay, after takeoff, let's go. Here.
So yeah, we gotta do that after we take off.
Okay.
Okay, so you know that obviously you're gonna pull up. The thing is,
What
again,
degrees?
this is a big plane.
Yeah.
So when you pull up, you're gonna pull up, and what you'll see is the plane will go like this, but it'll stay like this. It won't actually go up. So once you pull up, you give it about 3 seconds like this, and then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna nudge it a bit more like this, and it'll start.
Okay, at what airspeed I'm gonna?
Our V rotate speed is right here. So if you go to route, takeoff, VR speed is 138 knots. You will see the V2 green symbol on your speed indicator here. This is your speed.
Okay.
That's your altitude.
So that's the speed, and it's gonna be
138.
138. Okay.
131 is our V1 speed. If we have an emergency occur before 131, then we abort to take off. If
Okay.
we have an emergency after 131, we have to continue with the takeoff no matter what.
Perfect.
Okay, now for the throttle. So basically the way the throttle works is you're going to bring it up to 50%. We're going to leave it at 50% for about 2 seconds. We're going to watch the engines and make sure that they come up to 50% and that they stabilize and they don't go all crazy.
Okay.
Once we've confirmed that, there's this button here. It's called the TOGA button. It's the takeoff go around button.
Okay.
You're going to click this button. Basically what happens is the airplane will take control of the thrust and will go full throttle. And then it will automatically adjust the throttle to our climb performance parameters. So during takeoff, once you've set this button, you're going to stay with your hand on the throttle. You're going to let the computer take your hand with it. You won't have any control over it.
Yeah.
But this is motorized, so it will take your hand with you, and you're going to keep your hand on it the entire time.
Okay.
Once you hear V1, the plane will say V1. At that point, you will take your left hand off the throttle and put both hands on the yoke.
Okay.
When you hear it rotate, that's when you're going to pull up on this one.
Okay, I see.
And you're going to keep your both hands on the yoke. Once you hear V2, then you can put your hands back on the throttle, or you can put them anywhere else. You can fly with one hand, it doesn't matter. But during takeoff, it's always with 2 hands on rotate.
Okay, perfect. Just to make sure, to repeat what you said, I'm gonna release the brakes, then I'm going to use the power 1250, wait 2 seconds, and then after that, like all the way to the end.
No, you're not going to put it all the way to the end. You're just going to press the button.
Press the button. Okay, I just want to make sure. Perfect.
Okay?
Perfect.
And so yeah, once we pull the nose, so we have 10 degrees here. 5 degrees is between the horizon and that 10-degree mark. Once we're getting airborne, you want to keep the nose somewhere around 5 to 7.5, 8 degrees. Like we want to keep it below 10. And if we get up to 15 degrees, we'll stall.
Okay. And we don't want that.
And you will get a warning. If this thing will start to shake.
Sure. Okay, one more time. Let me just repeat that very quick for you. I will release the brake, and then I'll use the power 1250, and then wait a couple of seconds, then I will click the buttons here, and it's gonna take my hand all the way by itself there. That's
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
You're gonna help me for sure, right?
Yeah, if you need help, I will help you. When we're on the ground, if you notice the plane is going off to the left or to the right too much, then you're going to use your rudder pedals.
Okay.
So you always want to keep the toes of your feet on the bottom end of the rudder pedals. You never want to keep your full foot on it.
Yeah, I get it.
Because we don't want to apply brakes by accident.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. So we're going to disable the parking brake. And as I said, 50% on that.
Right?
That's good, yeah. So we're watching. It's stabilized at, we're going to wait a bit more, 47%. Both engines stabilized. Hit the button. And let it take your hand with you. Very good. Both hands on the stick. Cool. Gear up. Now you want to keep your nose on the cross there.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
That's a smooth takeoff.
Yes, sir.
I guess.
That was good.
Now we're still climbing, right?
Yeah, we're climbing
We're
now.
climbing to what altitude?
We're climbing up to 10,000 for the time being. So see how the cross is. Okay, I have control.
That's control. 5,000 feet.
Checked. And see this button here?
Yeah.
Under barrel, just press that. So now we've switched our altimeter to the standard setting. So see right here, this is showing us we have a headwind of 18 knots at the angle of 359 degrees on the compass. So our wind is coming right from there and hitting us here.
Which we have to go fly that way.
We want that, yes, we want that.
And is it on autopilot right now or not?
No, I'm flying manually.
$950.
So can you set this one to 38,000 feet?
Check.
Perfect.
And we're at 10,000 altitude.
I have to take off checklist, please.
The wind is pushing us to like this right now.
No, that's me.
There we go.
Oh, look at what's ahead of us.
Lost. Damn. That's insane. Okay.